Well, this was Andre, my name is Sam Bay. Welcome back to another video on the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. The international break is almost over. Premier League football is almost back. You know what, this year I wasn't feeling as negative about the international break for the first one anyway. There's high hopes around Ireland getting to or given qualification for the World Cup, a real good goal this time around. Set okay, incredible 2-2 draw coming from behind against Hungary, only for that to be followed by a shambolic defeat away in Armenia to already pretty much end their hopes of qualifying after only 2 games. So I'm not going to be looking forward to the next international break when that comes around in a few weeks. The tricky start to the season, isn't it? And it just feel like you're getting down one break, then another break, and then 3 breaks in a row in the space of 3 months. So it's hard to get much kind of that momentum down early on. But the first one's down, and a bit busy few weeks from West Ham. Hasn't been the busiest of international breaks from West Ham point of view, but as always, there is always stuff to talk about. That's what I'm here to do with today. So if you do enjoy, please like, subscribe for more West Ham videos. I'm going to start with Lucas Fabianski. Did he ever leave the building? I'm not sure he did. Lucas Fabianski is back at West Ham. As a third choice keeper, we let him go in May. He's back in September. I'm really happy with this. Really happy with this. Makes perfect sense. It seems like the right thing to do from a footballing side, on and off the pitch, but also from a human side of it as well. Fabianski always talks about his deep love for West Ham, his deep affiliation within his family. His son is a big West Ham fan, so it was sad to say goodbye to him in May, but it didn't take too long for us to say hello to him again. He replaces the departing Wes Fodringham, who has moved to Cyprus to play for Aris Limassol. So when you look at that, a straight swap of the third choice keeper is makes perfect sense. I don't think they play much like Fodringham didn't. These were Wes, if you know, you know. But it's really good having that. I'm really glad he's back in the squad, back in the building. Brings a really important amount of experience back in the squad too. Some of the defeats we've had lately in the early part of the season have been really crying out for someone. Even just in his dressing room to grab hold of the players and tell them to top on and death or activate it pretty much. So it has been really important experience. Since Rice left, since Noble left, I felt we really had left that. And the 3 that of Cresswell, Ogbonna left season before last too. Cresswell, Fabianski and Ogbonna, 3 big leaders in the dressing room, all gone. And I felt that missing hole in our squad when it comes to a leadership capacity, because Bowen, as much as he's a fantastic footballer, it doesn't really strike me as a proper leader. And the couple of times already this season he has looked like that burden been getting on him a little bit when we've been performing badly. That incident away at Man U when he had a word with a fan in the away end, and I'm just not sure it's the best thing for him to have all that burden of leadership on his shoulders. So having someone like Fabianski to not only help Um, I also think they'll probably end up transitioning into him becoming part of the coaching staff. That's what I hope. This is another reason why we've done this. Part of the goalkeeping coach. Maybe I know we brought two in the summer after Gabby Valero left after probably 10 years, I think, at the club. So I see very little fault with this addition. Nice to see, nice to see. I was surprised when I saw it, very surprised, but nothing bad to say about it at all. But the Matt Lucas. Moving on to Crescentia Summerville. Now he, actually hold on before I move on to Summerville, I should just say something a bit about him. Really romance, and very much red for your year and a bit of service. You'll be greatly missed. Thanks, guys. Really romance, what I do. Summerville, Crescentia Summerville. Been quite a bit of news about him throughout this bit of sabbatical of West Ham action. It came out first initially last week that he might have picked up another injury setback after coming off the bench at the City Ground last Sunday in a emphatic 3-0 win against Forest. He looked really, really good. Coming on for the last 15 minutes and got himself 2 assists. He made a real impact on the game. That directness, the pace that I've been crying out for so long, he brought is absolutely excellent. And another reason to be really optimistic about the games ahead after coming out of that game before the break against Forest. So when you hear that he might have had a bit of a injury setback, it does give you a bit of a punch in the stomach, really. And especially when it's sort of believable, because when he was injured last season after part of his first game against Villa in the cup, that was about meant to be 3 or 4 weeks after that, but then he was back in training, injured again. Had a lot of setbacks that only led to him being a surprising substitute. A couple of weeks ago, no one really expected him to be in the squad. It came really out of the blue. But that was since poo-pooed, and it has since come out that he, in the summer, turned down proposals from Nottingham Forest and a loan offer from Borussia Dortmund. Pretty impressive, right? Only if you believe it. I know Summerville is a great player, and it's great to have him. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of him. I hope he starts at the weekend, but he was injured in the summer. I just cannot believe that. I really don't believe it. That he would have had a concrete offer on the table from Forest or Dortmund. Maybe there might have been a bit of a hypothetical thing that if you were fit, or you'd be interested in coming to this sort of thing, but I don't think there was ever really going to happen. It was an initial proposal, pretty much. Because we would have heard about it if there was a bid in, or we would have heard about it, I'm pretty sure. But if you believe it, which I don't, he said, no, I want to prove my work to West Ham fans. I don't just want to be a one season flop, waste some money and walk out. He wanted to really prove himself and show West Ham fans what he could do. He said during the summer and pre-season that when he's back, it's during the showtime. And it looks like it might be. Really looking forward to seeing more of him. I think a lot of West Ham fans' opinion on him had been really tainted by the amount of time that he was out injured last season. But when he signed him, it was a really seems a bit of a coup from West Ham to sign him, so I'm hoping that we can see that Summerville that we thought we were buying last summer. I'm quite optimistic that we might. Hopefully she starts on Saturday. I'll come on to that game a bit later on. That's Fullkrug. Another injury scare for him, and a bit like some of the reports were did turn out to be true, which isn't a bit of a setback at a similar sort of time as last year on international duty with Germany. Got injured in training, had to withdraw from the squad. Was sound like it was 3 or 4 weeks that he was out for. But in part of pressure today, they said that he trained today, probably won't be fit for the weekend, but doesn't sound too serious. Which obviously is really good. I always want to see West Ham players to sign them. You never, no matter what you think of them, no matter whether you like them or you don't like them, you always want to see them do well. You don't want to see someone flop and end up selling them for way less than the bottom four. Fullkrug is a weird one. It really is. How do you best describe him? He's a bit of a pure spare. Definitely all his sizes. About him, about the team. But then when that first whistle blows, it just doesn't miss him. And not just because of unintended injury. It can't really help that, but his performances in general, he just seems to completely don't miss him once the season starts. He's a strange one. He is. My opinion had changed on him quite a bit in the first few games of the season. As I say, it's John missing. It really has John missing. All the talk in pre-season that all the talk we talked about in America about us, what he did last season, after who was it then? It's Southampton, and we drove them at home in 10 minutes, stayed with the players after it. The fans like that, I like that. He was very vocal in pre-season. I like that, fans like that. But he's got a show on the pitch as well, and he hasn't. So, now not quite as top as it was, that he's trying to work out, and I'm leaning more towards Callum Wilson. If they're both fit to do with the start. But good on Bastard, of course. Thankfully, it doesn't seem too serious. Has been used as many options as we can, but I personally, on current form, would have preference for Callum Wilson. But probably the biggest piece of news from this couple of weeks wait, in the grand scheme of things, has been the letter of no confidence from the West Ham fan advisory board to the West Ham board by email. West Ham board, Tom Brady, David Sullivan, have seen it, and they have asked to meet with the West Ham board today. That happened today. I saw it on Twitter. Where Brad put together a letter full of information in a calm way, in a professional manner. I really do feel like the pressure is starting to ramp up on the board now. There's planned protest for the Brentford game in a few weeks. Daniel Levy has left Spurs which somewhat similar to what it is to West Ham Spurs fans. I've been really pushing to get him out for a long time. They've gotten their way. He's been pushed out of Spurs, essentially. So it does feel like the pressure is really ramped up on the board now. And probably one of the reasons why they have chosen to meet with the board or the fan advisory board just to try to calm this protest down, because it seems pretty ferocious at the minute, and it seems like it's not going to stop. The media and it's gaining traction in the media. The media are starting to talk about it. They're coming under real pressure now. The board, but the media traction, the fan pressure has always been there. And that's the Daniel Levy example at Tottenham as well. So I think the pressure's really going to be ramped up. They've made positive changes, to the areas and to the fans about where for the game on Saturday, no half and half stairs are going to be made available outside the ground, and there's going to be extensive checks to make sure that only West Ham fans then into the home ends to try to create a bit of a better atmosphere, which is one of the things that has been a big gripe for West Ham fans in the last year or so. Since we moved to London Stadium to the tourists. So the pressure really gonna ramp up on them now. These protests aren't gonna go away, no matter how our form is. It's not aimed at the players, the manager, it's aimed at the board. Other teams are moving on, and we need to move on too. Now looking ahead to the Spurs game of the weekend. Huge game. Real confidence booster last time out against Forest. Really good all-round performance in that game. Probably wasn't a 3-0 game, but really good all-round performance. Fernandez came in from the start, looked good. Summerville off the bench. There was so many reasons to be optimistic after that, aside from the results. The dynamism and energy in the middle of the park, but Fernandez still got Medessa to put into that. Leroy Julio's come in on deadline day to add cover to the defence. Lots of reason to be optimistic after that. Which I was very happy after that. Somewhat forgotten about now though. Still being a very poor start to the campaign. But if we can get another positive result here, with a positive performance, we can be close to form and actually have an okay season. But if we lose again and show another performance like we did in our last home game against Chelsea and roll over in a big game, then we'll feel that we're back to square one again. So, not getting too ahead of myself. It's a huge game. We have to be at a huge game for some of the reasons. There's some that sort of layers to this game, the atmosphere, the whole ownership thing, but really big on Sullivan and Brady still there. West Ham Spurs is always a big game. And also the Mohamed Kudus narrative as well. As well. One of my main worries going into this game though is that we're going to see Bowen up front again. Fullkrug is unlikely to be available. Potter said that Callum Wilson isn't really ready to go in the start yet. And if you really don't put Callum Marshall up front for a big game in the start of this, I highly doubt it. Could you play a bit Teta in sort of a false 9-ish role maybe? We've seen it and do that before, but Teta was really good the other day. A couple of weeks ago now, against Forest in the middle of the pitch, breaking the play up, getting about on that goal celebration. Oh, I can't remember being so happy. That goal was probably And the first time ever that I was celebrated more at the celebration than after it all. It was just beautiful. It really was. I found it. What was it? Batata played for Brazil during the break too, scored a goal off the bench and started the next game. So it was in a good moment with Batata. It's a brilliant start to the season for us too. 3 goals already in 4 games. So great to have a Brazilian man in the future back in foreign. With Potter so far, whenever we have managed to win a game in his tenure so far, it hasn't been too often, but when we have won a game, it has tended to keep a similar sort of shape and line up for the next game. So I do think we'll stick with the back 4. I'm hoping Summerville will play, but I'm cautious that he might keep Fernandez in that wide left position and use some of the off the bench, but I hope some of those starts. And maybe that might have a bit more stability in our front line. That Bowen dropping out of it wide, Suchek going in front. I don't really think Amendola will start. I think for a game like this, Suchek would get favouritism. I really don't know much at all about Amendola. I've never seen him play. Hopefully it is what we need, but I don't think I'll put him in for the start for a game like this. Definitely want to see him off the bench though. Absolutely want to see him off the bench. Jury though from Brighton we signed and don't think he'll start much for us this year as cover. Hopefully he might come on the last few minutes at left back. Give Cruz bit of a tackle. Let him know where he is. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Big time, really big time. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon. So many more rounds. Bye.